This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
This podcast is sponsored by IQ Bar. Your favorite clean, functional, delicious nutrition brand is raising the bar with a little help from Thomas Keller, Michelin star chef of the French Laundry. IQ Bar and Thomas Keller have teamed up to create a salted caramel chip protein bar and yuzu mango hydration mix. With toasted macadamia nuts, rich caramel flavor, and brain-boosting nutrients, this bar is like having a Michelin star meal in your pocket. Pair it with the taste bud tingling yuzu mango IQ Mix hydration mix, packed with magnesium and adaptogens to improve clarity and mood. With Keller's culinary excellence and IQ Bar's commitment to great taste and clean ingredients, this limited edition collaboration is simply mwah. And the best part is that 10% of sales go directly to Chef Keller's nonprofit, Mentor, that supports aspiring young chefs. Great taste, great nutrition, great mission. Go to iqbar.com today and enter promo code Keller20 to get 20% off all IQ Bar products plus free shipping. That's iqbar.com, promo code Keller20.
If you want to chime in what's happening with your favorite KFAN program, you can always make your voice heard on the Bradshaw Bryant KFAN text line. Let us know what you have to say. Text your message to 64686. That's 64686, and standard message and data rates apply.
Subject where you know what you're going to get when you raise it. Why is it the workers' responsibility to save downtown? Didn't say it was. All I'll say again, for now, this will be probably the third time, is not doing so comes at a price. As long as we're willing to accept that price, and obviously there's a lot of people in our audience who can't see past their own nose, who think it's absolutely worth the price, then fine. God bless you. Sleep well at night. I'm not saying it's any individual person's responsibility. I'm just saying this affects the outcome. You can do it however you want to, but you can't be blind to the implications of doing it. And if you do care at all about cities, metropolitan areas, and by the way, this isn't all of it. It's a piece of it. There's a lot of responsibility here. You know, police presence, law enforcement in positions where people can, are more likely to feel safer as well. All of this fits together. There's no one single thing, but I'll just leave it at that. I think it's an education though to see the how much vitriol there is on this subject. But I think it does go back to once the genie's out of the bottle, it becomes difficult for people to put it back in. There's stuff in here about I got a text from a college professor basically saying their kids want to do, all they want to do is study remotely too. They don't want to go to the school, which makes no sense to me, other than if you have literally no choice, which is another issue entirely, or you're in a completely different position. That's sad. If you sacrifice that much of what might be, I think, an important part of anybody's college education if they're going to go down that particular road. But several of these texts are in education. And again, I have several who agree with some of the concerns being raised here. But the ones that are in what's your problem? How does this affect you? It doesn't. It doesn't affect me at all, to be honest. We have the capability anymore because of technology of working from home. And occasionally, some of us have done that. But through COVID, My belief, my desire was to come in here every day, if at all possible, other than being sick or being in a place where I literally couldn't get in. That's just me. Now, that's not downtown. I get that.
5
but
minutes
for
outside.
me, some of this isn't just, I don't want to make this too much just about the downtown subject, even though that's what these stories are exploring. I would just say across the board, wherever. The idea that, well, you got used to it being that way means that it can never go back. According to who? That's up to the employer. And somebody said, well, it's a pro-business stance. Okay. If you want to make that a pro-business stance, I'm carrying water for the business community, fine. Go ahead. I think the business community has a place in downtown Minneapolis. When it's more vibrant, it's everybody wins in that situation. They may win more financially, but I'm trying to think more cosmically than that. Yesterday, we discussed Byron Buxton's terrific first half that culminated on that Saturday with him hitting for the cycle on Bobblehead Day. And we got into the hypothetical subject, very hypothetical, given the no trade clause that Buxton has, about would you even, if he were willing to waive it, would you even entertain the notion of moving on him? The cliche is, never better time. His value is as high right now as it's probably been in the last 5 years.
Reverse Herschel.
That's it. And if you buy the notion that he tends to live on borrowed time when it comes to durability, then you say, yeah, see what you can get. Now, the conclusion I think we both had yesterday was you can't mess with it, even if you know going in that he may never be as healthy as he's been this year, given especially his salary. You ride this out. And right now, he's too good. And right now, maybe you hope the baseball gods are going to even it up for him a little bit. And maybe the next 3 years, 2 years, he's relatively healthy. And he's too good a player under those conditions. And you're doing the ultimate concession speech if you move on him. Turns out this came up in an interview. Rumors about Byron Buxton being traded, which the Twins center fielder addressed, correct? Let's listen.
I'm a natural friend for the rest of my life. That's the best feeling in the world, knowing I get to walk into a clubhouse and it's going to say Twins for the rest of my life.
And so you won't waive it. You're going to stay right down.
So, on the face of it, you say if you're a Twins fan, he likes us. He really likes us, right? And you go,
he's family.
That's cool. Especially if he means it. Whew, sigh of relief. Not going to have to worry about that. He wants to be here.
I feel like Ron Rosenbaum's about to show up.
No, perhaps.
But.
Well, here's the but. Are there any Twins fans who secretly or deep down are thinking, man, you know what, though? I wouldn't have minded if he'd added something else to his comments. I wouldn't have minded if he said, I'm a Twin. That's all I've ever been. That's all I ever want to be. But I also want to win. And so I got to tell you, there are times when I wish, with all due respect to the Pohlad family, they've been very good to me, and I've been hurt a lot. I acknowledge that. There are times, though, when I wish we'd be a little bit more assertive and aggressive when it comes to complimenting the roster. Not sure I was crazy about, us winning a playoff series for the first time in forever, and then we cut the payroll $30 million. I'm guessing there are Twins fans who wouldn't have minded that addendum, too. Now, you can argue that because of the amount of time Buxton has missed, is Buxton not in a position where he can get that flowery or that assertive on anything because he's missed so much time? Because there's a lot of people over the last 2 or 3 years who've been down on Buxton. Not as a person, but just because of the amount of time he's missed, and it's like it's just never going to work out, and it just always seems like there's something. But Be honest, it's good, I think, for the Twins fans to hear a player stand tall on behalf of the team, but wouldn't it be better if him having the little bit of the bully pulpit right now that he threw in, even if it's a little more passive-aggressive than I laid it out, Wouldn't that have been welcome too? Hey, by the way, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to lie, though. I love having that control. I want to be a twin. But I do want to win. I'd like to see us win a little bit more than we have in the past. Is that crazy?
Not crazy. Did you hear what Joe Ryan said?
No.
Yesterday?
No.
I'm going to play this kind of on the fly because he was asked essentially kind of the same series of questions. The other Twins All-Star, who rightfully was added, thankfully, for Lavelli Neal III.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's do this. Let's tease that and come back with it, and it'll also give a chance to hopefully get somebody some bonus bucks.
The fan and BigDeck.com want to give you a shot to win bonus bucks with our national cash contest. Bank is the 4 o'clock keyword. Go to KFAN.com and enter the keyword.
The last thing anyone wants is to leave behind confusion, stress, or worse, family conflict. That's why estate planning isn't just for the wealthy. It's for families like mine, and probably like yours. With Trust and Will, I created my estate plan in minutes, from naming guardians for my kids to putting our house in a trust to avoid probate. Fast, affordable, and way easier than I thought. Every plan is designed by estate planning attorneys and customized for your state. Plans start at just $199 and include essentials like healthcare directives and power of attorney. With Trust and Will's bank-level security and built-in privacy protections, your personal information and your wishes stay safe. Whether you're newly married, raising kids, caring for aging parents, or just want peace of mind, Trust and Will makes it easy to protect what matters most. Go to trustandwill.com, use code RADIO at checkout, and save 20% on your personalized plan. Because there's no better time to protect the people you love. Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. See website for details.
This podcast is sponsored by IQ Bar. Your favorite clean, functional, delicious nutrition brand is raising the bar with a little help from Thomas Keller, Michelin star chef of the French Laundry. IQ Bar and Thomas Keller have teamed up to create a salted caramel chip protein bar and yuzu mango hydration mix. With toasted macadamia nuts, rich caramel flavor, and brain-boosting nutrients, this bar is like having a Michelin star meal in your pocket. Pair it with the taste bud tingling yuzu mango IQ Mix hydration mix, packed with magnesium and adaptogens to improve clarity and mood. With Keller's culinary excellence and IQ Bar's commitment to great taste and clean ingredients, this limited edition collaboration is simply mwah. And the best part is that 10% of sales go directly to Chef Keller's nonprofit, Mentor, that supports aspiring young chefs. Great taste, great nutrition, great mission. Go to IQBar.com today and enter promo code Keller20 to get 20% off all IQ Bar products plus free shipping. That's IQBAR.com, promo code Keller20.
Word bank.
Dr. Dan's inbox is scheduled to be opened at 4:30, but only if we get a couple more really, really solid submissions, Guardsy tells me. So email him. There's still time to get in on all of the fun. That's jg@kfan.com. Ben Gessling is scheduled to join us at 5:30. Let's replay. Can we re-rack the Buxton sound?
It's racked.
That you played, because a couple of people said they were having difficulty hearing it. So we'll try to play that again to sort of reset the scene here regarding some interesting trade comments he made, and then some other comments you say Joe Ryan said on a couple of Twins-related items as well. Let's start with Buck.
I can't be traded. I got a no-trade clause. I'm a Minnesota Twin for the rest of my life. So that's the best feeling in the world, knowing I get to walk into a clubhouse and it's going to say Twins for the rest of my life.
So you say you won't wait. You're going to stay with
I'm a Twin. That's home.
That seems fairly categorical.
Yeah.
Or no, is it uncategorical? Whatever the term is that indicates fairly firm. Somebody said, well, if you're the average Twins fan, does this worry a little bit that maybe Buxton's not that committed to winning?
You can twist it, I think, any way you want.
And you could.
Yeah.
As I said, I would have liked a little bit of, I'm a Twin. I have no intention to ever, of course, if you say intention, then that opens the door. But if he couches it a little and says, hey, I do want to win, though. I want us to be a significant, a consistent winner here. And I hope whenever we get this, well, he's not going to be at that specific ownership change. I'd just like to see us maybe be a little bit more committed to that. When's the last player who said that here? I guess Correa has spoken around it.
Yeah, he kind of did it from time to time. Yeah.
But in any case, you say Joe Ryan got in on some of this as well?
He was also asked about trade rumors with the deadline just a couple of weeks away.
Of like trade rumors and being identified, that's a compliment. I would imagine. Or has that been you're weird getting used to?
The trade stuff?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's fun for me. I mean, July is awesome. I think everyone in the clubhouse gets excited just seeing where guys are going to go around the league, and you don't know. And I think that's exciting. And being someone that could get traded, it would be exciting. I mean, I do love Minnesota, and I love where I'm at. So it would be sad, definitely hard to go. But at the end of the day, it's never up to me. And yeah.
Well, you've never gone through anything like this, obviously, right?
No, I mean, I'm not really paying attention to it too much. I don't look at my stats, so I don't look at even like articles that much. But people have like mentioned it, and I've looked at it, I've seen a couple things, but I'm not like diving into it too deep.
Sounds like Joe's ready to go.
Bags are packed.
Joe's got the valise in the mudroom ready. It looks like
the go bag.
Called it exciting. Kind of exciting.
Yeah.
Man, that's quite the yin to Byron Buxton's yang. Now, again, Ryan doesn't have a no trade, I don't think.
I don't think so.
And I think part of Ryan's comments have to do with maybe just trying to be philosophical about it. I have no control over it.
Right.
But that's an interesting answer in of itself, because it didn't, he certainly didn't sound like someone would be devastated if that were to happen. Maybe
kind of slipped in the sad at the end. It'd be kind of sad. It'd be sad, of course. I like Minnesota, but.
Yeah. Well, the New York Post headline I saw overnight had to do, again, more with the relief pitchers, which all along, I think the feeling has been if the Twins back up the truck, and by the way, we're going to get into all of this in more depth with Aaron Gleeman, senior athletic writer Aaron Gleeman.
How about that?
In studio tomorrow. The feeling all along was, well, this is a good bullpen, and you could get some stuff from contending teams that want to add another really good relief pitcher. I hadn't heard so much about, Ryan's obviously pitched well. And my guess is you could probably get something for him at this point. I don't know. I don't even know what his contract situation is, to be honest with you. I doubt he's making much money. He's a Twin. But, that's, I guess, another name that you'd have to throw in there. Now, again, I have no idea. The Twins, what's his title now? Is it president of baseball operations?
Derek Falvey, I think, is just team president and president
and general
of
manager, whatever the case may be. Derek Falvey, according to New York Post.
Yeah. Did he join that show I was supposed to monitor?
Well, that was today. You're right.
Yeah,
I don't know if he did. Let's see if he had anything interesting to say. My guess is they're going to play it out. They're going to at least publicly do the old, hey, we're not that far out. We're staying afloat. We still hope to start, getting a little bit healthier. Laval has us, convinced that we got the pitchers that we've had to insert into the rotation with Pablo out and Ober a mess.
Yeah,
holding their own, sending the message that they can kind of hold their own. I'd like to see a little bit more. I'd like to see about another 4 weeks of that before I'm convinced. Unfortunately, in the meantime, is the trade deadline. So my guess is, I don't know. It's a distinction without a difference with the Twins, isn't it? To the extent that this is what I was arguing about with Laval. That let's say you go with the Lavelle view, which is they're still too close to back up the truck, right? You got to hang in. So let's say they hang in, and let's say at the All-Star deadline, or at the deadline, the trade deadline, let's say they're 2.5 games out of the last wild card berth, right? Does that make it more likely that they're going to add a piece? I don't think so. Do you?
I'm not optimistic.
Other than the kind of piece they did a year ago, which was meaningless, right? I mean, just one that's just a name to throw somebody out there and you hope maybe you get really lucky. I just don't think that's going to matter. On the other hand, maybe because they want to live in this illusory world, they're not any more likely to say we're going to start trading assets, because we're too close to do that. They may have created their own reality in that sense. My guess is they're not going to do either. Isn't that yours? Or that's mine.
Yeah.
I think it's more likely that there's not a major move to add and that there's not a major move to subtract at the deadline.
And trading Joe Ryan, you're a bigger ball guy than me.
By far. Not even close.
I feel like, wait till I tell you his contract situation.
Oh.
And Gleeman will obviously have this frontwards and backwards tomorrow. But he's on a 1-year, $3 million contract that he signed this last offseason, basically to avoid arbitration.
Okay.
He still has 2 more arbitration years.
Oh.
Twins are not trading a pitcher of his caliber when they can, at the very minimum, go to arbitration, but
100%.
perhaps even sign him.
That's the box, yep.
So I don't even think that would be surprising.
Maybe he's actually trying to encourage the notion of a trade on the basis of what he was saying last night.
But because most teams he would be traded to would probably be a contender, which by definition means they probably don't mind spending money, and all of a sudden he slides in there as their number 2, 3, 4 starter, and he'll make some pretty good money. So there's no way that the Twins are thinking about trading Joe Ryan, given that they've got 2 more years of arbitration, it looks like, if I'm reading it correctly, to not have to pay him a crazy amount of money.
That makes sense. 913 guy on a callback. It comes as a surprise that seething Democrat Dan places the needs of big business owners over the needs of everyday workers. Parenthetical, love the show.
The last thing anyone wants is to leave behind confusion, stress, or worse, family conflict. That's why estate planning isn't just for the wealthy. It's for families like mine, and probably like yours. With Trust and Will, I created my estate plan in minutes, from naming guardians for my kids to putting our house in a trust to avoid probate. Fast, affordable, and way easier than I thought. Every plan is designed by estate planning attorneys and customized for your state. Plans start at just $199 and include essentials like healthcare directives and power of attorney. With Trust and Will's bank-level security and built-in privacy protections, your personal information and your wishes stay safe. Whether you're newly married, raising kids, caring for aging parents, or just want peace of mind, Trust and Will makes it easy to protect what matters most. Go to trustandwill.com, use code RADIO at checkout, and save 20% on your personalized plan. Because there's no better time to protect the people you love. Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. See website for details.
This podcast is sponsored by IQ Bar. Your favorite clean, functional, delicious nutrition brand is raising the bar with a little help from Thomas Keller, Michelin star chef of the French Laundry. IQ Bar and Thomas Keller have teamed up to create a salted caramel chip protein bar and yuzu mango hydration mix. With toasted macadamia nuts, rich caramel flavor, and brain-boosting nutrients, this bar is like having a Michelin star meal in your pocket. Pair it with the taste bud tingling yuzu mango IQ Mix hydration mix, packed with magnesium and adaptogens to improve clarity and mood. With Keller's culinary excellence and IQ Bar's commitment to great taste and clean ingredients, this limited edition collaboration is simply mwah. And the best part is that 10% of sales go directly to Chef Keller's nonprofit, Mentor, that supports aspiring young chefs. Great taste, great nutrition, great mission. Go to IQBar.com today and enter promo code Keller20 to get 20% off all IQ Bar products plus free shipping. That's IQBAR.com, promo code Keller20.
Inbox is next. Texter reminds us, when Pablo comes back, it's like trading for an ace.
Can you argue with that?
We'll add. If we're 2.5 games out when he comes back,
over 2.
It's our wild card spot sooner or later, right? And then, it is. You get in the tournament, and who's to say how it'll go?
Well, that is what's weird. And we actually have some Twins letters in the inbox today, so I'm sure we'll talk about this. I actually wouldn't, if all of that happened, I do like their chances to maybe make a little bit of a splash or make some noise in the postseason. But I just don't know if they can get there because of Buck and because of Pablo and because of some other guys. But I don't know. But I'm not optimistic.
No, I mean, I guess I sort of have to know who's playing and who isn't at that point. I'm still not sure I love the lineup, but deadline, I assume, is the end of the month.
Yeah, I think that's right.
We're not that far off from the whole damn thing. All right, let's open up the inbox. A reminder, Ben Gessling is going to join us to talk some Vikings because there is no Vikings offseason. He'll be with us at about 5:30. What do you got?
It's time for Dr. Dan's Inbox.
Letters. Oh, we get letters. We get your letters every day.
We love it on Thursday. Thursday's right around 4:30. I'm out this Thursday, so why not move it up a couple of days? JG at KFAN.com. Still time to get in. We've had some great late entries here the last few minutes or so. Dear Dr. Dan, I tried telling everyone. I will tell them now if they ask, or even if they don't ask, I will tell you. C. Reeves screwed up. I know that's sacrilegious to say in this state, but it's the truth. They thought that drafting A. Peely over me was a good idea. They thought at the time, and now it is absurd. I lead the league in rebounding, as I did as a rookie. I can't read that part.
Okay.
By the way, I do practice rebounding my own shot, but at least I shoot it, unlike those cowardly P Suns. Hopefully A. Peely didn't ruffle too many feathers in street clothes. See you in the finals, Dr. Dan. A. Reese.
The Lynx took care of business in the rematch last night in Chicago, correct?
They did. I listened to a fair amount of it right here on the
They were actually down early, and then I think they had a fairly strong finish. I did not watch very much of last night's game as much as I had the previous one. The box score numbers for A. Reese were solid again. I believe their point guard didn't play in this game. Was it load management or an injury? I'm not sure, or maybe some of both. Yeah, I mean, we covered a lot of this yesterday, and we mentioned it's a little bit of a dangerous ground because the franchise itself is in such good shape that it's harder. When the Wolves would blow a draft pick, it was pretty easy to just hammer away at them because chances are the player they picked wasn't, not only the player they picked wasn't very good, instead, it was the team itself stunk. So there was nothing else to distract you from the blown pick. The Lynx have plenty to distract us from any single blown decision like that or pick because they're still so damn good. That said, I think Dr. Dan is on record believing that we have now enough evidence that the collective weight of what we've seen indicates that it was a horrendous swing and a miss in passing on A. Reese. And I, as a great admirer of the C. Reeve approach, I try to put it on a more complimentary basis and say, man, I would love to have seen what she could have done to further influence getting the best out of what A. Reese has to offer as a big-time rebounder, which is an issue for this club, has been an issue for this club for some time, and also as someone maybe who can minimize some of the other stuff. And if there's a couple of, shall we say, impediments along the way, a couple of crises along the way, we can handle it. We're the M-Lynx. We've got the internal culture that can handle any of this sort of nonsense. So we'll see where it goes from here. It is, again, worth reminding that part of that deal, though, was the option to exchange number one picks.
The old pick swap
with Chicago. So that could end up being. So I don't think the Chicago's gonna be able to make the playoffs. I don't think. So and they have a lottery too, don't they? I think there's a lottery in WNBA.
Yeah, it's a little different.
Set up differently.
It's a little different than the NBA, but it could be a very high pick next season.
That has to be part of the issue because maybe the Lynx get a good player. But that's the hypothetical though. What we already know is that A. Reese is a good player, an interesting player, and I think an improving player who's actually showing that maybe fine-tuning some of the rough edges a little bit as well.
It's time for Dr. Dan's Inbox.
Letters. Oh, we get letters. We get your letters every day.
Dear Dr. Dan, I'm only 18 and a half years old, and I first picked up a basketball on a whim post-COVID. But sometimes it pays to swing for the fences on potential upside. You've seen it before, the original big ticket. And just to the east, the Greek Freak. My team knows I'm a long way away, but hopefully you can squint and see what I might be down the road. Sincerely, Jay Berenjay.
Well, I mean, here's the interesting wrinkle. There are people who now are advancing the theory that he could end up being a player who gets some playing time this year. Now, I find that hard to believe, although I will say we don't really have strictly speaking, a backup center on this roster right now, do we? We let El Garza, if you want to call him a center.
We're going to hear
really
from El Garza in a second.
Really?
Yeah.
El Garza is gone, right? Did he go to Boston?
Boston.
He went to Boston. Man, it's going to be a rude awakening in Boston with the people they've lost and the people they're going to be forced to elevate. But I digress. I'm as intrigued with what he represents as anyone. I think it has to have a lot more to do with the future than it does right now. But let's face it, the way the league is evolving, the way the league, you could say in some ways, seems to be emphasizing defense a little bit more again, or two-way players a little bit more again. What he seems to already have figured out regarding good shot blocking instincts are, this is as far as Dr. Dan's ready to go right now. Intriguing. That's it. I'm not trading our Gobert. I'm not saying he's on the fast track and there's no limit to his potential. I got to see a lot more of this guy against much better competition. I will just say, and this is not a negative, I would just say I would call this pick and what he seems to represent as intriguing.
You should have seen while you were talking, he went to go set a high screen for Leonard Miller, who's a wild ride. I don't know if you've watched El Miller. We like him. We're still hanging on to him. But he went to go set a screen top of the key, and then he kind of slipped it, and Miller threw a pass that was not a good pass, just inside the circle.
Saved it?
He just grabbed it with one hand, on the move, seamlessly went to Jay Clark, who then found T. Shannon Jr., who then drove for an easy bucket. Because we're trying to win the Summer League.
I see. Okay.
But I'm just imagining Rudy trying to save that pass and then make the play that I just watched Berenger make. Intriguing is the right word.
You've lost yourself in his highs already.
I lost myself draft night watching the YouTube.
Yeah.
Because he does move very effortlessly.
Yeah, he does. I agree.
And that's a good place to start.
It's a good start. Intriguing.
It's a good place to start.
I'm not trading anybody yet for him.
I wouldn't do that.
To make room for him, no.
But somebody said he is only like 2 injuries away. You know, if Gobert gets hurt and like Randall's hurt for an extended period of time, I don't know where they go. Jane McDaniels will probably have to play some 4, but
Nas
is still there, but who's backing up Nas?
Right. I got you.
So he's only a couple injuries away.
Okay.
You better be ready.
Yeah, well, you got to be.
It's time for Dr. Dan's Inbox.
Letters. Oh, we get letters. We get your letters every day.
Dear Dr. Dan, spending on sports at the U of M, a very hot topic. So why are we spending so much on football to possibly make a playoff once every 5 or 10 years?
Wow.
Why not put the bulk of our resources into men's and women's basketball? Unlike football, it's much easier to compete in hoops. Properly funded, we could become a top 20 program and even compete for championships. You also wouldn't need a new stadium because when you win at that level, Williams becomes cool old school instead of an outdated dump. Are you on board, Dr. Dan? This is a co-byline. N. Medved and D. Plitzowite. Should we be a Big East program?
I wish the textures were real because I would love to get the PJ Fleck reaction to that little shot across the bow. Look, we've all been waiting for it. It would be very refreshing to see. Pro basketball is not reestablished. Really, for the first time in forever, it's established in the sports pecking order, right? It would be wonderful to see college basketball get reestablished there as well. Even I'm not quite sure that we're going to be playing for national championships. What did the writer say? What was the term?
Top 20 program competing for championships.
Okay, yeah.
Probably thinking Big Ten.
Yeah, but even that, do we have divisions on the basketball side?
We don't.
No. So that's pretty hard to be in that conversation because we don't have the. Did we ever have the setup? Did we have the divisions in basketball the way we did in football?
No.
We didn't, did we?
No. And we have the Big Ten tournament at the end of the year.
That's true.
That you can also win.
Yeah, you can win. Yeah, you're right. You can win that too. So, yeah, Dr. Dan's all for it, obviously. I'm not sure. The truth, though, is football still is king in terms of the revenue part of it, right? It's undeniable.
Yes.
So you still have to have. The truth is, we shouldn't have to pick and choose. We should be able to be viable one of these decades in each of these sports, including women's basketball.
Tomorrow, I am hosting 9 to noon. Paul Allen is out tomorrow. I am hosting 9 to noon from University of Minnesota football, like internal media day thing that they're doing.
Right.
D. Plitzowite and Medved both will join the show tomorrow.
Oh, nice. Excellent.
So that we have that going for us tomorrow for you basketball sickos out there. Both coaches will join tomorrow.
It's time for Dr. Dan's Inbox.
Letters. Oh, we get letters. We get your letters every day.
Dear Dr. Dan, I love Minnesota. Don't you just love Minnesota? But I suppose other places are nice too. I guess there are lakes in other states. I love downtown, but other towns have those too. I like loons, but I also like wins. Wins are really good. And run support. Really love run support. Having a cleanup hitter who can actually drive in runs would be great. It's nice to have a solid defensive shortstop, but hey, how about a few RBI? But yeah, I like Minnesota too. Jay Ryan.
That must be a late arriving one.
Pretty late, but pretty good.
But not bad. Yeah, absolutely not bad. Is that a shot at C. Correa a little bit?
Oh, he's taken a lot of shrapnel lately.
Yeah, he has, and we'll talk to Gleeman about that because he wrote one of the pieces that I think that his emphasis was the analytic having to do with clutch performance, and there's a much fancier term for it than that these days. We'll try to find it, but I'm sure we can get into that tomorrow when Gleeman joins us in studio. I'm trying to look on the fly here at the C. Correa. Take a look at his stats right now for the 2025 season. 83 games. He's got 17 doubles, no triples, 7 home runs, and 30 runs batted in. Walked 18 times, struck out 63. Batting average 264, on base 304, slugging 389, OPS 694. Those are not what we would call Correa in his prime numbers, are they?
They're not.
So are you saying we should consider trading him if we could get some kind of if we could actually find a team that would take him off of our hands?
Big no trade too.
Yeah, it's probably true.
Yeah, I'm guessing
about that.
He probably does too. But he's taking a lot of heat.
Yeah, well, yeah, his numbers are not, and even I think some people believe his defense is not quite as consistent as it was once upon a time.
It's time for Dr. Dan's Inbox.
Letters. Oh, we get letters. We get your letters every day.
Dear Dr. Dan, I've been following the Jay Epstein list controversy with keen interest. On a fine fall day in 2005, my teammates and I took a little boat trip out on Lake Minnetonka. One might say it was our own private island for the rich and famous. Things got a little out of hand. Next thing I know, there was a list. I was named, as were so many of my teammates. Now the powers that be are dragging their feet. Why do the rich and powerful of today get the protection that I never received? What advice can you offer, Dr. Dan? That from F. Smoot.
God. Whatever happened?
I went back and forth on this one.
Whatever happened to F? Yeah, understandably so. Whatever happened to F. Smoot?
He's still around.
Is he?
Like once a year, he jumps on some podcast and talks about the Love Boat.
Yeah. I'm actually glad this subject got reintroduced because I got a couple of texts that I didn't address yesterday, and then there were a couple of tweets on this too when we were kind of exploring the MAGA on MAGA crime, MAGA eating its own regarding the Epstein story and the Epstein files. And people took my mocking of the MAGA on MAGA crime as somehow indicating that I must be in favor of the kind of allegations that have laid out there involving a lot of other, at this point, sometimes named, sometimes unnamed people in the Epstein files. Au contraire, the issue yesterday was the about face that the MAGA community has done and how this has created some consternation within the MAGA community because obviously a lot of the people who listened to MAGA heavyweights like the president's son, the president himself, your guy Kash Patel, a number of other people who now work in this administration, their whole bit for, 2-3 years was release this information. We all know why the information is being suppressed. they're trying to protect some big name Democratic people, and people have to get to the bottom of it. Well, now that the Trump administration is in power, ultimately the people who had the authority to release whatever there was to be released said there's no there there. So my ripping yesterday had nothing to do with not taking seriously all of the concerns regarding some of these allegations. It was more, these are the people who we'd been kind of told that the MAGA people said could be, if we have MAGA people in charge, they can be trusted with this information, and they're going to get this information out. And now there's no information, or they're not letting it out. So that means one of two things. Either they also are suppressing for their own selfish reasons, or there wasn't as much there as we've been led to believe by who? The same MAGA people who are now parroting Donald J. Trump, who says, what are we doing still talking about this guy? There's nothing to see here. Let's move on with another subject, even though my own people have milked more out of this particular topic than anybody else on the planet.
To close the loop on the F. Smoot Love Boat comparison,
yes,
what you just said about what Trump has said in the soundbite we played yesterday, D. Trump is playing the M. Mweldy Moore role.
Yeah, that's true.
Sex?
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
I didn't see any sex.
Basically,
no,
that's true.
I'm engaged, man.
I'm
engaged. I didn't see any of that on the boat.
It's time for Dr. Dan's Inbox.
Another lost soundbite.
That's true. I was right there, too. That was early in my career. Dear Dr. Dan, I keep hearing you're not willing to trade anyone from the Wolves now and that your K. Durant dream has died. Am I not worth it? I'm being replaced here in Hollywood looking for a new destination. I won it in Cleveland. I can surely win in Minnesota with my guy Ant. I mentored him in Paris, and would love to work with him. Call up your guy, T. Conley. Tell him to ship out whomever, especially that Stone for Hands Argo Bear. Come get the king, Dr. Dan. I won't ask for much, just complete control. L. James.
I had no problems going out and getting L. James. I'd love having him here. He can still play. He'd fit in seamlessly with this club. And in effect, well, that is if he's ready to handle the ball a lot again, which I thought he was trying to get away from last year a little bit. The L. James story has Dr. Dan very much puzzled because, on the one hand, I've tended to feel that this was all trumped up stuff. This notion that he's actually going to end up someplace else, and that it's a lot of noise. But too many people who are pretty well respected, including the ESPN duo, the two writers who wrote the most recent story, including Wendy, are very plugged in on LeBron and on the NBA. And even Johnny said when he was out there in Vegas that he kept hearing it over and over again. So I don't know what to make of it. It's becoming one of the more intriguing offseason stories, the possibility of LeBron moving on from L.A. again. I don't think there's any steam about him ending up here.
I doubt it.
But I'd have no problem with him. I don't even know financially how that would work for us.
That's the problem.
We're under second apron right now, as I understand it, for the new financial year. But I don't know that we can necessarily stay under that. You saw ultimately the Durant deal. It didn't involve like 7, including us. I think I had like 7 teams involved in the deal.
Yes, to make things work.
And that was to make things work. That's exactly what we were told before the trade deadline last year was the kind of deal Conley was trying to put together to get K. Durant to come here then. And he couldn't. That he didn't have enough time because of the multi-layers involved in it. The beauty of the offseason is you got a little bit more time to get to that, and that's exactly what took place in this case.
The weird thing about the L. James thing is, what I don't like about it, and I'm a LeBron guy, but there's no doubt that he does this all the time where he basically forces the hand.
Yes.
He's almost more passive-aggressive than K. Durant in some ways. But you can't opt in at 41 years old to $50+ million in 2025 and then go,
I'd like to go someplace else.
No, but even just go, well, I'm watching what the Lakers are doing.
Yeah.
Like, what are we adding to the team? What are we doing? Well, you can't. When you have Luka and now you have LeBron at 41 making $50 million, like, these teams just can't do a bunch of stuff.
Right.
Like, it's just because of the financials of it. So that's where LeBron's bugging me on this one. says, dude, you can't opt in and then go, but I'm watching.
Right.
Because you could have just opted out and said, let's build a team. Pay me 10 mil. Pay me 20, whatever it is. I can sign a new contract. But when you take the 50, like, you kind of limit what your own team can do.
Well, the rumors, I mean, Cleveland keeps coming up, but I think Cleveland's second apron, so I think it would be complicated there. I'm still going to be more surprised if he's not starting the season with the Lakers than if I'm going to be much more stunned if he's moved on. Even with all the steam that's coming out of there's a lot of passive-aggressive stuff that's going on. But that happens sometimes in the offseason, especially with LeBron. And often he seems to just enjoy it. Yes. He almost seems to get bored without it.
Yeah.
But I don't necessarily think that means he's leaving. Meanwhile, El Doncic, have you seen him?
Well, we knew that. That was as predictable as possible. That was he's svelte, right? I mean, he's looking
beyond.
Ripped.
His body fat's down to like 1.4%.
He's got Kevin O'Connell BMI.
That's it. That's exactly it.
You and I were on that 3 months ago. You knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, it had to happen.
It had to happen.
Yeah, it had to happen. The question is how long it'll last in his case, but it had to happen.
You get to L.A., you start having the kale and the avocados, and it's a good
bean sprouts.
Look
it's
at
not
Krager's.
difficult.
Look at Kilby. He's been out there for 30 years. Yeah. He looks great.
Changed his whole body.
He joins the show Friday, by the way, Craig Kilborn.
Even better.
Let's do these quick ones back to back.
Time for Dr. Dan's Inbox.
Oh, we get letters. We get your letters every day.
Dear Dr. Dan, what was your favorite me moment? El Garza.
Oh, that's a good question. Dr. Dan will admit that two things. One, he's pulling for El Garza in Boston.
Yep.
And he's intrigued to find out if there is any there for El Garza, right? Because, let's face it, he was buried here a little bit because of the people in front of him. And also, I think he got pigeonholed. I don't even know if it was fair, but I think the coaches all felt, cute story, good to have him around, but he's limited. He's very limited. Maybe he is. But I have a hunch he might have a chance in Boston because of the number of people they've already traded, and they're supposedly going to make even more moves. I just want to see, even in a limited role, but in a game that matters, what he might do with 15 minutes, 16 minutes. I have no idea, but he's always intrigued me.
We'll wrap it up with this one, and I want to shout out Carrie Cardell, a frequent contributor to Dr. Dan's Inbox, for an outstanding callback. Dear Dr. Dan, we're enjoying our last week of vacation before the grind gets started. I'll have a cold water ready for you next week. K. O'Connell.
It is coming up.
A week from Thursday we'll be there.
What's the weather forecast for that day? Do we even bother to project that far
let's take a look. I can't quite yet here in the National Weather Service. No.
They're too responsible to do that?
Yeah. We've got rain basically through Monday.
Oh, is that true? A lot of rain coming in?
In and out, yeah. In and out. But I don't know about next Thursday.
For those wondering, Inbox today, because you're out. Are you out tomorrow and Thursday or
tomorrow
Thursday and Friday?
Thursday.
You're out tomorrow and Thursday.
Friday.
Tomorrow you're filling in apparently. So, in any case, that's why we moved the Inbox up. We had original plans to have Seifert on today because Tuesday's kind of been his day as a Vikings reporter, and there's a little bit of Vikings news to discuss. But he wasn't unavailable, so we decided to move Ben Gessling up from his regular Friday appearance. So he's going to join us at 5:30. Top five will include what?
What did Rob Manfred, commissioner of Major League Baseball, say about the Minnesota Twins sale?
This podcast is sponsored by IQ Bar. Your favorite clean, functional, delicious nutrition brand is raising the bar with a little help from Thomas Keller, Michelin star chef of the French Laundry. IQ Bar and Thomas Keller have teamed up to create a salted caramel chip protein bar and yuzu mango hydration mix. With toasted macadamia nuts, rich caramel flavor, and brain-boosting nutrients, this bar is like having a Michelin star meal in your pocket. Pair it with the taste bud-tingling yuzu mango IQ Mix hydration mix, packed with magnesium and adaptogens to improve clarity and mood. With Keller's culinary excellence and IQ Bar's commitment to great taste and clean ingredients, this limited edition collaboration is simply mwah. And the best part is that 10% of sales go directly to Chef Keller's nonprofit, Mentor, that supports aspiring young chefs. Great taste, great nutrition, great mission. Go to IQBar.com today and enter promo code Keller20 to get 20% off all IQ Bar products plus free shipping. That's IQBAR.com, promo code Keller20.